कारणले गर्दाखेरि आफू नडराउने मान्छे बलियो मान्छे हात खुट्टाले काम गर्न सक्ने त्यस्ता खालको मान्छे जानुपर्छ त्यस्तोले मात्रै गर्छ
Just over that is a huge drop and they look totally comfortable. Just getting ready, they're like having a chuckle.
यो पटकको हानि चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि अहिलेको पौष्टिक पनि हुने अनि अलि लाग्ने खालको हुन्छ धेरै प्रयोग गर्न हुँदैन बडीमा जिब्रोमा हामीले थोरै राख्यो भने पर्र लाग्छ रैसिका जस्तै त्यो पछाडि चाहिँ त्यसले लाग्ने सुरुवात गर्छ
People drive like maniacs kind of in Kathmandu. There's a weird order to it, so everyone sort of, you know, manages not to kill each other like every 5 seconds, even though it feels like it. We're heading west into the Annapurna Mountains, basically the foothills of the Himalayas. And we're going to meet up with the Gurung. It's a community indigenous to this region of Nepal. And twice a year, they harvest honey from these very high cliffs. It's one of the oldest methods of harvesting honey in the world. And this time of year, in the spring, that honey is rich with rhododendron pollen, which has a psychedelic effect. We're not exactly sure what the effect is or how they use it, but we're going to join them on their honey hunt and try some of the honey and see what the effects are. We came to Nepal seeking a rare intoxicant known as mad honey, a wild honey infused with a substance called gryanatoxin that comes from rhododendron flowers. Mad honey has a range of reputations, from an aphrodisiac to a cure-all medicine, a deadly poison, and a powerful psychedelic drug. To find out what mad honey is to the Gurung, we embarked on a long journey through the mountains of Nepal to the tiny Gurung village of Talochipla. That is an incredible view. It's just so vast. Once you get up here, you can just see for miles. It's kind of hard to describe or capture the sheer magnitude of how far and how deep these mountains go. When the paved roads came to an end, a group of Gurung came to help us hike 3 more hours up to their village. This is the man right here, Mingma. He's our Sherpa. We have 13 guys carrying our stuff. There's all the camera gear and everything. And they showed me how to carry their baskets earlier using their foreheads. I gave it a try. This is how people tend to roll out here, so I gotta say, I kind of feel like a bitch for not carrying my own stuff. But, you know, when in Rome, right? When in Annapurna. That's like a thing too, like, you know, we got all this hiking gear. These guys are wearing like flip-flops and like a short sleeve button down. And they're just doing it. They're just like trudging up like they're taking the subway. Alright, you ready, Mingma? Ready? Alright, let's do it, Judge. So as we were hiking up just now, Durga, who's one of our porters, said he had a little treat in his pocket. It looks like, can I see? What's this right here?
Ganja.
Ganja. So that's a ball of hash. So how did you make this?
गाँजा यसरी बनाउने मिच्ने 20 मिनेट जति मिच्ने अनि सर कालो हुन्छ अनि निकाल्ने चक्कुले.
That's crazy. I've tried making finger hash before. It takes a minute. It takes a lot of rubbing. I mean, this guy did it. We're about to get to the Gurung village that we're visiting. It sounds like there's going to be like a little welcome party happening. The Gurung have lived in remote villages in these mountains for centuries. Their culture is still steeped in tradition like honey hunting, which has been passed down for longer than anyone can remember. They also know how to throw a party, and the local chief was eager to welcome us with a taste of their way of life. Or 3. Here's a 3-drink minimum here.
3 पटक हाल्दाखेरि यसलाई समान गरेको हुन्छ पाउनेले समान गर्ने भनेको 3 पटक 5 वर्ष गर्ने हो
So this is a beverage called Ruxy. It's made with millet. It tastes a little like sake. As remote as this place is, everyone's got their cell phones out, they're snapping pictures and stuff. A couple people just added me on Facebook. So, you know, even though we're really far out, things are changing clearly.
Fuck.
So as long as this village has been here, your people have been hunting honey. Why do you guys do it?
र हिजोको अवस्थामा बाबुबाजेले सिकार खेल्ने र यो भिरमौरी झिकेर खाने व्यवस्था थियो र अहिले त त्यसलाई अलिकति बाबुबाजेले गरेको काम किन छोड्ने भनेर मात्रै झिकिराखेको छौँ र यसलाई औषधिको रूपमा चाहिँ प्रयोग पनि हुन्छ त्यसकारणले जोखिम भए तापनि यसलाई झिकिराखेको छौँ
So what's special about the honey that we're going to be harvesting now?
यो पटकको हनी चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि अहिलेको पौष्टिक पनि हुने अनि अलि लाग्ने खालको हुन्छ यसले लाग्यो भने मान्छेलाई अलिकति अप्ठ्यारो पार्छ नसा चाहिँ अलिकति खुन्जा जस्तोरी चाहिँ यता खिच्या जस्तोरी चाहिँ काम गर्छ धेरै प्रयोग गर्न हुँदैन बढीमा आधा चम्चा मात्रै खानुपर्छ यति बेलाको चाहिँ
Who exactly are the honey hunters from the Gurung tribe?
हैन अरु गुरुङ भनेर जस्तो तसले कसैले पनि गर्न सक्दैन अनि त्यसकारणले गर्दाखेरि नडराउने मान्छे बलियो मान्छे हात खुट्टाले काम गर्न सक्ने त्यस्तो मान्छे जानुपर्छ त्यसैले मात्रै गर्छ
Do the Gurung people have a special connection with the bees who are making this honey?
उसले दिएको मिठो चिज उसले दिएको पौष्टिक तत्त्व हामीले दिन सकेका छैन तैपनि हामीसँग ऊ चाहिँ सबै झुमिराखेको हुन्छ प्राकृतिकले दिएको चिज त्यस कारणले हामीसँग चाहिँ सम्बन्ध भएको जस्तै भइराखेको छ
As night fell on Talochipla, the Gurung sacrificed a chicken and performed a religious ceremony for the cliff gods to ensure everyone's safety for the hunt the next day.
We're at the top of the hill. The bees have already started coming out.
There's a bee up your head.
Can somebody swat that off for me? You got that? Thank you. Yeah, where's the hat? Where's my fucking hat? Give me my hat. Everyone's kind of got a makeshift bee mask on, and a couple of guys are cooking up some frogs in there. Seems like it's kind of an event. Everybody's hanging out. There's bees everywhere. As soon as we got to the top of the hill, our camera guy Billy got stung in the back, so I know he probably hates holding that camera right now because these things hurt. Look at the size of these bees. Like, I was going to catch one to show you, but like, look at these fuckers. They're massive. Are you guys expecting any harvest
fuck.
this year?
लाग्ने छ भन्दा टोके त त्यसैले है टोके कि त्यसैले लाग्छ रे हामीले चियामा एकछिन हाल्ने खानुपर्छ सानो टोकर है यसलाई मान्छेलाई डर बनाउनु त्यो टोकर
It sounds like you guys use it medicinally, but like this stuff like fucks you up, you know, it gets you high. Do you guys use it recreationally as well?
यो खाएपछि मान्छेलाई साह्रो कुरो भन्ने कुरो हो पानीतिर साइडतिर त्यो गर्नु रेडी भयो समय
Ready?
Yeah, ready.
Alright, let's go. So now they're making the ladder. We've got these two super thick ropes that are made of
braided strips of bamboo, and they basically have like shards of wood with arrowheads carved into either end that they're jamming in. So they're making pretty quick work of it from bottom to top. They've already got a bunch of the rungs in, and they're gonna hang this thing down over the edge. And some lunatic's gonna go harvest honey. Durga's showing me how to chop down leaves. So basically, we're gonna gather these up, and this is what they use to burn to create that smoke down at the bottom of the cliff and at the top of the cliff to ward off the bees. ये सारे एक में यहाँ? You can see how swole up his hands are right now. It's because he's been stung by bees just relentlessly on his hands. A lot of the guys at the camp have those kind of puffed up hands right now. It seems that it's almost like a sport. Like everyone has their own role, their own position, and they all have this common goal of harvesting the honey, and everyone sort of rallies around it, more like it's a game. But of course, there's definitely a very spiritual aspect to it, and they've been doing it for a long, long time. So it's somewhere in between those two things.
मेरा नाम आसन है मैं ये काम करने लगी 10 साल हो गया ना
कितनी प्रैक्टिस की इससे पहले के पहली दफा आप नीचे गए
तारीफ नहीं डायरेक्ट
आपने कभी कोई मिस्टेक बनाई है गलती
नहीं जब नहीं जाता है ना वो उसमें बहुत असर होता है ना दर्द नहीं लगता है थोड़ा सूर्य जो रास्ते से गए ना हाँ थोड़ा ऐसे नीचे आएगा उसमें
यो उसमा आफूलाई चाहिँ खासै चाहिँ अब जबरजस्ती गर्ने कुरा नै केही नै होइन आफ्नो खुसीले गर्ने कुरा नै होइन तर समाजको उसमा आफूले सकेपछि समाजले नै आफूलाई भन्ने भयो त्यही भएर चाहिँ त्यो गर्दाखेरि पछि अब हामीले पनि यही काम गर्दै गर्दाखेरि मैले पनि आफूले पनि त्यो महसुसमा त्यही राम्रोसँग मैले नि माथि गएर अब जुन त्यो अब भनौँ न निकालिसकेपछि माथि गएर पनि आफूलाई अलि आराम पनि हुनुहुन्छ आराम पाउँछ किनभने साथीहरूले पनि यसरी निकालेर आयो भनेर उनीहरू पनि खुसी नै हुन्छ
To get to the hives underneath the overhangs of the cliffs, the hunters work in teams. One cuts down the honey while another holds a basket that catches the combs when they fall. It used to be a job for one, but younger hunters are still learning the ropes. They're dumping all the broken up honeycomb onto this tarp here, and then separating it because some of the honey has already been consumed by the baby bees, but some of it's good to go. So they're scooping that up and they're putting it in this little strainer, with a straw basket, and that's dripping down. So what's in that bucket is going to be the final product, minus all the wax and the bees. Just the good shit.
Wow.
नाम मेरा अशबाद मैले थाहा पाउने त अब 15-20 वर्ष अब बुढा भइहाल्यो अब पढ्न सक्दैन
त्यहाँबाट फेरि अब त्यो घाँस सिकेपछि छान्ने हिसाब किताबमा पहिले यो गर भनिदिने आफूले नगरे भने त्यो तरिका अहिले राम्रोसित नबुझेर अरू धेरै झिक्न सकिने क्या बकरको ठिडाहरू है जानेको हो सिकाउँदैछ ठिडाहरू
ये बनाया एक किस चीज के लिए बनाया
हाँ
ये काटने के लिए बनाया
अच्छा तो आपने किसको सिखाया
जैसे देखो ना हम तो अभी बच्चे हैं लड़का है जवान है हमारे जैसे थोड़ा उम्र वाला दादा दादी है ना वो लोग सिखाते हैं ये लोग देखो कितना उम्र गया
तो जो छोटे बच्चे हैं अभी बुरुंग आपके गांव के वो तो वैसे ही सहार स्कूल जाते हैं निकल जाते हैं गांव से
निकल जाते हैं
तो उनको कौन सिखाता है ये करना
नहीं वो लोग भी एक छुट्टी में आता है नहीं बात है
तो ये बात नहीं है कि बुरुंग के बच्चे बार बार चले जाते हैं और ये काम जो है वो भूल जाते हैं
नहीं ऐसे नहीं भूलते क्योंकि ये भूल जाएगा हमारा कल्चर भूल जाएगा ना
हाँ
हमारा कल्चर कैसे खत्म हो जाएगा
हाँ तो मजा भी आता है आपको
मजा भी आता है।
ट्रेडिशन भी है और मजा भी आता
क्योंकि हमारा पूरा गुरु है ना इधर ही मजा आता है
है Alright, we can try some of that? Alright, so we're eating the wax here. Wow. That's really sweet and tasty. Should I eat more or is that too much? Not too much? I'll eat a little more. I don't want to go over the recommended dosage because that's the difference between just getting high and getting sick. I'm just gonna eat another little wet corner of this and that's it for now. And I'll wait a little bit until we have a little more. One more? Alright, cool, let's do it. Drip it in my mouth. It tastes like strong. You know, store-bought honey, it's sweet, but it doesn't have like that deep sort of like kind of a smoky flavor to it almost, and like it burns your throat a little bit on the way down. But it feels good. It feels like medicine. I'm starting to feel a little bit of something. It feels like I just took like a couple of hits of the joint. It's not super strong. It's not like knocking me out. I just feel like a little buzz, you know? And it's like, it's funny, as I'm like talking, it's actually getting like a little bit stronger. Durga is definitely kind of stoned as well. Like, you can tell, like he was just giggling and stuff. It's really a unique thing to this place and to these people, and they're loving it, and it's just honey that like you get from a cliff. And it's just honey that like you get from a cliff and you eat it and you get stoned. It's crazy. You guys gotta try some of this shit.
Fuck. Oh yeah. Ah, fuck. I lost it. Get them both. Get them both. Fuck. Ooh, Lucia. Let's play, baby.
चलेगा भाई
शंभू शंभू की जय होस्।
शंभू कहते हैं
जय शंभू
शंभू क्या होता है
जय शंभू इसका शिवाजी का नाम है ना एक
ओके शहद का नशा बहुत चरस की नशा की तरह होता है
किन नसो त एउटै हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई होइन तर अनि यसको चाहिँ स्टाइल दिन्छ त्यसको चाहिँ किनभने खुट्टा सामान्य दिन्छ होइन यसलाई पनि पहिलो पहिलो खाने मान्छेलाई त्यस्तै गर्छ उचाल्ने त खिचाल्ने गर्छ होइन
तो ये आपके गांव की बहुत लंबी ट्रेडिशन है ना तो आप नहीं चाहते कि कहीं बाहर दुनिया में लोगों को बताएं कि ये हो रहा है या
मलाई चाहन्छ यो ठाउँ राम्रो छ होइन यस्तो ठाउँमा होइन दिनमा आएर बस्दाखेरि होइन कुनै मान्छेहरूले देखेकै छैन यो ठाउँमा यस्तो माल हुन्छ भनेर होइन थाहै छैन किनकि होइन यो ठाउँ पनि चर्चित र यसो चलिरहेको छैन सबैले यो ठाउँमा माल छ भन्ने कुरा
Wow,
होइन
for real?
देखेपछि होइन आउँछ होला जस्तो लाग्छ
तो बहुत शुक्रिया भाई बहुत मजा आया आपके साथ हैंग करने
म पनि खुसी लाग्यो तपाईँसँग भेटेर एकदम खुसी लाग्यो फेरि भेट्ने कि नभेट्ने
हाँ बिल्कुल वापस आएंगे जी वापस आके शहर
Hey, be
बिल्कुल
careful.
वापस आएंगे भाई When the hunt was over for the day, we packed up camp and headed back down to Talo Chipla. Seeing their reverence for the hunt, it became clearer what this hunting means to the Guru. It's so ingrained in their way of life that it transcends its mere medicinal value, psychoactive properties, and sanctity. This is your piece, dude, alright? You won't get Thanks for everything, my dude. That was super fun. I feel pretty fucked up, honestly, and it's a really good feeling. It's like icy hot. It's like a cold and warm feeling. It's kind of like being stoned, but it's kind of like being on mushrooms as well. Like when you eat just like 1.5 grams, 2 grams of mushrooms, and you get like a little bit of that like almost lockjaw feeling, like your muscles are tensing up a little bit, and you feel loose and tight at the same time. A guy just walked by, like threw me off a little bit. There goes another one. But that's about as articulate as I can be right now. But yes, honey good.
Fuck. Wow, girl.
Today's Queen's Day in Amsterdam, and I have 3 containers of psilocybin-containing truffles. I'm going to start by taking 8 grams of this 15-gram container because that's what the man at the smart shop advised me to do. And then I suppose I'm going to go out and walk around on Queen's Day, which is incredibly chaotic and disgusting, and probably the worst possible place to take them. This is the first time I've ever consumed a psychedelic truffle. You can't really get these in the United States as far as I know. It's actually much less than I would eat of a mushroom. It doesn't seem like very much at all.
Shit.
Yesterday I arrived in Amsterdam. Doubtlessly one of the sickest places on earth to get blazed on dank nugs. But my interest is not solely confined to blazing dank nugs. Amsterdam is fertile ground for all manner of psychoactive substance. I came here to find the psilocybe tamponensis sclerotium, or philosopher's stone truffle. It was not until the infamous mushroom ban in 2008 that the psychedelic sclerotium gained widespread popularity due to the fact that its effects and chemical composition are almost indistinguishable from the psilocybin mushroom. Mushrooms were once completely legal, and since the early 90s, the Netherlands led the world in the development of commercial psychedelic mushroom growing techniques. But everything changed in 2008 when the Dutch government banned psilocybin-containing mushrooms, responding to a number of highly publicized deaths, misguidedly blamed on the innocent fungus. Truffles escaped the ban unscathed and hold a place inside the hearts of all true Dutch. I am here to learn about how these strange protuberances are cultivated and why they have not been banned. There are no better people to consult than the Truffle brothers, two of the world's leading experts in the mass production of psychedelic sclerotia. I visited the brothers' farm in Hauserswaardedorp, formerly the second largest mushroom farm in the Netherlands. Having survived the mushroom ban, the Truffle brothers now dominate the psilocybin-containing fungus industry. I sat down with Morad and Ali to discuss the secrets of the philosopher's stone.
First of all, my name is Ali. Next to me is sitting my brother Morad. We are, in fact, known as the Truffle brothers. You're here at the farm of magictruffles.com. We produce sclerotia, also known as magic truffles.
And how did this company get started?
Interesting story. Long story. That started somewhere around 1993, 94, I guess. I learned mushroom growing in Belgium. Mushrooms for eating, normal white button mushrooms. That was my occupation before I started with these mushrooms. So I had quite a great network in that area, in that field. And one day a friend of mine comes up to me and says, look what I found. He shows me a petri dish with spores. So, that's interesting. What kind of mushroom is it? He said, well, it's a magic mushroom. And I never heard of it. So I took a closer look. I went to a friend of mine who owned a laboratory, a mycological laboratory, and asked him, can we do something with these spores? He said, well, let's give it a try. After 2 weeks, there was one mushroom in the aquarium, but it was a giant mushroom. It was about big as this tall. We were looking at it and said, okay, let's harvest the thing.
And you were operating a pizza restaurant before you?
In that time, yes.
The life cycle of a mushroom begins when two spores of opposite mating types germinate in a growth substrate and send out threads called hyphae. The hyphae form a clamp connection where genetic information is exchanged and then expand into a web of undifferentiated threads called mycelium. If the conditions are right, the mycelium organizes itself into a mushroom with special reproductive cells called basidia, which catapult spores into the air and give rise to new mushrooms. And you bought this property?
Not in the first place.
First of all, we
started in my place, in the bedroom with my daughter, with several aquaria at this time. After the one aquarium, I started to gather aquariums.
Start searching on the street at night, and people were throwing out their old aquariums. Yeah, there's mine. Let's take it.
My daughter's room was filled with, I think, about 12 aquariums or something.
Like that.
And we started to grow mushrooms in there. Then we rented our first place in a town called Leiderdorp, not far from here. We made some sheds out of plastic foil with shells in it, and there we started our first professional growth.
Yeah. Right after that, we moved to a bigger place with 10 growing houses.
But it wasn't enough. The demand was so high that we couldn't make enough mushrooms.
And then we saw this, which was far more ideal.
And what were you growing, what sorts of mushrooms were you growing before the mushroom ban?
We had several species of psilocybe cubensis and the Paniolus skeleton.
And that was what you sold more than anything, more than the truffles you sold?
Yeah, the truffles were just for the connoisseur, it was a side product in that time.
better understand the prohibition of the sacred mushroom, I go to meet criminal lawyer Karem Kanatan, who explained the nuances of Dutch drug law.
Okay, well, first of all, we have what, like many countries, we have the Class A drugs and Class B drugs. So that's not different from many other countries. So we have a list of drugs that are illegal. To buy it, to use it, to bring it over the border, etc. It's completely illegal. Then we have a small portion of drugs. In Holland we call it soft drugs, where you have weed and the hashish and the joints, or we call it joints because we smoke joints. I don't know if that's the correct term, but we have, which is called a tolerance policy by the Dutch government. And they have on paper saying that if the amount isn't bigger than this so and so much, then it's allowed to have it, it's allowed to smoke it, and you are allowed to sell it. So up until around 2007, it was okay to use the magic mushrooms.
These were the salad days for mushrooms, but a series of unfortunate incidents where mentally ill tourists hurt themselves turned politicians against the sacred mushroom, and they began to legislate a ban.
Het is het zoveelste incident waarbij toeristen na gebruik van paddo's de weg kwijtraken.
Though there have been scattered mushroom incidents in Amsterdam for decades, it was not until the death of a 17-year-old French student named Gaël Karoff that lawmakers began taking serious steps towards banning the sale and consumption of psychedelic mushrooms.
Shit.
Toen is een meisje achter het honderd gaan zitten. Heeft daar een stukje gespeeld. Is naar buiten gerend. 2 jongens erachteraan. En toen, een kwartier later, kwamen de jongens terug. En bleek uiteraard.
Ma fille était une élève brillante à l'école, avec un avenir certain. Ma fille ne voulait pas mourir, je reste persuadée, c'est la drogue qui l'a tuée.
After the incident with Gaël, others followed. A Frenchman, supposedly under the influence of mushrooms, ritualistically sacrificed his dog with a pair of kitchen shears in order to free the dog's mind from its corporeal shackles.
De politie kreeg een melding van stadstoezicht, die de man besmeurd met bloed met zijn hond in het busje zag zitten. De man blijkt zijn hond met een mes en een schaar te hebben vermoord.
He said, well, I was on mushrooms. He had psychosis. And it had nothing to do with mushrooms. He wasn't even close to mushrooms. Since these products are legal in this country, it's very easy to hide yourself behind it.
With prohibition looming on the horizon, protesters swarmed the Parliament building, armed with super soakers filled with psychedelic mushroom spores, which they used to spray the surrounding parks and lawns. They demanded their right to consume mushrooms, but Parliament ruled in favor of the ban.
So in 2008 they banned all of these different genus and species.
Yeah, well, part of them were already on it, but especially this list from here, the magic mushroom list, and that says here that magic mushrooms are mushrooms who have by nature these and these active ingredients, and then all these species are on the list.
The law changed in 2008, 1st of December 2008. Sad day, saddest day of my life.
How much time did they give you after the ban to get rid of your stock of mushrooms?
10 days.
10 days to clear 16 growing houses, all the equipment, and so on.
And you were saying all these other different bans have been given enormous amounts of time, years before they have to.
Mink farms, for instance, they got 10 years to change the plans.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
And you got 10 days.
10 days.
Yeah.
Look at that.
How did you get rid of the mushrooms?
That was the easiest part. People were lined up here. The last mushrooms.
Despite the chemical and biological similarity to the mushroom, Parliament decided not to ban the magic truffle.
When the law changed in 2008, we just continued with the truffles that we were already growing in that time.
So what is a truffle and how is it different from a mushroom?
Let's call it a parking lot for nutrients and moisture.
Like all organisms, a fungus seeks to reproduce, but environmental conditions are not always ideal to do so. If the substrate is too dry, cold, hot, or poor in nutrients, the mycelium will grow inwards, forming a tangled clump of globular fungus called a sclerotium. These hard structures are able to survive in harsh environmental conditions until the time is right to send forth mushrooms. Murat offered to give me a guided tour of their innovative sclerotium cultivation facilities.
We'll start where it all begins. That's the dirty side where all raw materials come in.
First, the ryegrass seed substrate is sterilized in an industrial-sized autoclave to kill opportunistic bacteria and fungi, which are equally eager to consume the bag's warm, moist nutrients. Then the bags are inoculated with a liquid culture of mycelium.
This is a class 100 kilo. That means that only 100 particles of 0.00096 micron may be present in 1 cubic feet of air. Normally in an operating room it's class 10,000, so 10,000 particles may appear in a cubic foot of air.
Impressive. If you do everything like your laboratory work and you're growing under one roof, you get a cross-contamination somewhere, somehow. And that risk was so big that we looked for a proper building with at least 2 separate departments.
Then the bags are transported to an incubation chamber, where a temperature of 28 degrees Celsius is maintained to accelerate the colonization of the substrate.
How do you prevent the growth of mushrooms?
Fuck.
By controlling the temperature and the microclimate in the bag. The microclimate in the bag is not suitable for fructification, for formation of mushrooms.
The final stage is the nursery, where the bags are kept in darkness for as many as 5 months before the sclerotia are mature.
And what is the capacity of this plant at the moment?
The full capacity, if we work 24 hours a day in 3 shifts, 18,000 tons per year.
Yeah, something like that.
18,000 tons.
Yes. I think that sclerotia took over the mushroom market one-on-one.
Yeah.
By now.
By now it's one-on-one.
Upon maturity, the bags are opened, the sclerotia are plucked from their substrate, cleaned with a soft bristled brush, and packaged for distribution.
It seems your brand is the only brand, except for one other that I saw, that you can get at smart shops in Amsterdam.
Yeah, that might be correct. There are some home growers, but as far as commercially grown sclerotia, I think we're the largest.
Do you have any competitors?
Everyone who grows a truffle is a competitor.
Each package contains a single serving of fresh psilocybin-containing sclerotia.
Samsung Galaxy.
The boxes of 24. We give the shops
Galaxy tablet.
so that people get the proper information.
Good.
Fuck.
Murat invited me to join him on his delivery route and visit the Magic Truffles storefront in Amsterdam. The Dutch countryside touched us both deeply, but we could not linger on these natural delights. We had important sclerotium deliveries to make. One of the stops was a wholesale psychedelics distributor specializing in peyote cacti. We finally made it to the shop, and not a minute too soon, as the hordes of truffle-hungry Dutch waited eagerly for their Queen's Day delights.
What's he looking for? 215 or 215?
Chills and Thrills was not the truffle theme park I was expecting, but I knew the real ride would come later.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I would like to buy some P. tempenensis.
Okay.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Okay.
The truffles require no preparation, And though the Truffle Brothers recommended a truffle-based milkshake, I chose to take them raw so that I could savor their essences.
It's not bad at all. It's actually kind of good.
Fuck.
Well, it has almost a sour aftertaste. It's sour. It's like sour is the last taste I would associate with the truffle.
Shoot.
Truffle crumbs. Bar come down.
Tastes pretty good. Like a wet nut.
This is a drug. This is a drug. This is technically a drug.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't have any experience with the truffles, but if it's not a health risk and it doesn't have any other negative side effects, I would say allow it and then make sure you can control it.
What sort of person buys psychedelic truffles?
I don't think there's a specific type of person. Age has nothing to do with it. We've had people in their 80s coming for mushrooms.
Yeah, or people who are curious for the experience, who think there's more in life than the regular things we see. And there's also the real cosmonauts who use it for the real spiritual thing, like the shamanic experiences.
What category would you put yourselves into?
No.
None? You don't use your own product?
No.
Bummer.
Fuck.
While the Mazatec Indians prescribed special conditions under which the sacred mushroom should be consumed, there exists little-known rituals surrounding the psychedelic sclerotium. Their history remains unwritten. Though I feel sweaty and overwhelmed by the chaos of Queen's Day, I feel no compulsion to ritualistically stab a dog and play with its internal organs in a man, nor do I wish to jump off a bridge to a watery death. I'm glad that the resilient structure of the sclerotium has survived the inhospitable environment of Prohibition, and I hope that it sends forth mycelial threads of liberty for many years to come.
Ah, shit. Давай. Алло, гони гусей. Алло, гони гусей.
We're currently boating through a flooded forest on our way to meet the Mayaruna Indians, a formerly cannibalistic tribe who use a strange frog-derived drug they call sapo. They use it to give themselves energy before hunting. They use it to abort pregnancies by rubbing these women's vaginas with it. This venom contains an opioid peptide that's 100 times stronger than morphine. And some people say that it's psychedelic. It doesn't activate any of the psychedelic receptors as far as I know, but there's also a lot about the venom that we don't know. The venom produces some kind of a strange effect. It makes you vomit, and then supposedly you spend the next 8 hours in some kind of a daze and wake up feeling fantastic the next day. And they're going to ritualistically burn me and rub the frog venom into my wounds, and then it's going to produce some sort of a strange effect. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to do, but we'll find out.
What the fuck? For real?
Thank you for flying with our Welcome and from Markets.
Oh.
I have arrived in Tabatinga after days of traveling. It's an impossibly humid rainforest city built by drug traffickers and sandwiched between the borders of Colombia and Peru. I feel like I'm being gangbanged by vegetation. Every visible surface is coated with growing plants. The streets are overrun with motorcycles, scooters, and mopeds. I can feel that the jungle is near. I go to the dock, where the journey will begin, and meet our guide, Juan. Before we exchange a word, he looked at my long hair and started laughing hysterically. He said the Mayaruna Indians are going to think I'm a woman. They're going to kidnap me as a wife. Then he repeated the joke 1,000,000 times during the course of our day. I board a boat, which is a 30-foot-long canoe with a wicker awning in the middle. I meet the other crew member, a man introduced as the captain, who will run the boat's small motor. We make a quick stop to pick up a giant block of filthy frozen river water. The ice block is dragged out of the freezer through a heap of bloody, gutted catfish. The captain then proceeds to smash up the ice blocks with a rusty machete and throw the chunks into a couple of styrofoam coolers, which will hold our minuscule food supply. Juan says the ice will last 6 days, but that seems totally impossible.
We're on the Amazon River right now. We're still on the border of Peru, Brazil,
Nice.
Colombia,
Nice.
with Colombia this way, Brazil this way, and Peru that way.
Because of its proximity to Colombia and Peru, Tabatinga has become one of the main entry points for cocaine traffickers into Brazil. I'm told the chance of us encountering cocaine being shuttled around is not too low. The rainy season is when the Amazon River swells over the land and life hemorrhages out of everything in sight. There are trees growing on trees, ants crawling on ants, and penis fish swimming up the urethra of other penis fish. It's exhausting to watch. In order to save time, we take a detour through the flooded jungle. crew consists of Juan in front with the machete, the captain in the back motoring us around, and Alex, who is in charge of security should we run into any hostile drug traffickers. But that's sort of something that hasn't been discussed in too much detail at this point, I guess. It's going to be 3 days upriver. Each night we're going to stay on the side of the river in some sort of a shack, and then we find a Maya.
Chegando na comunidade de Boa Vista. Você está vendo que agora está alagado, né?
The sun sets and we dock at the home of some strangers. The river surrounds their home and reaches up to their doorstep. Apparently, families living on the river are obliged to take in travelers.
Shit. For real, dude?
Here we are on the banks of the Davari River. This is where we're going to.
I haven't made a
spending the
fucking
night
shot.
today.
What the fuck?
These are our hammocks, complete with mosquito-proof netting.
Fuck you, you can play again, but...
Here's the bathroom. Consists of a board with 2 holes cut in it. I'm not exactly even sure what to do with it or what it means. I just peed into the hole that had the most pee surrounding it. It seems like a pretty authentic Amazon experience. I like this dog. I think he likes me. Night comes and our hosts cook us a chicken meal. I'm ready to eat some chicken, get some fitful sleep, and then spend another day on the boat. There's definitely mosquitoes inside my tent. I could hear them buzzing next to my face as I was sleeping, but it was too dark to do anything. Someone's house, and there was a big debate about whether it was okay to bathe because the bathing water was right next to the peeing and shitting water, and there really didn't even seem to be any reason to bathe because it's only the second day. I didn't feel the need, but a lot of other people on our crew decided that it was hot and they would sleep better after they washed their hair. We stop for a bite to eat. Alex stabs open a can of wieners with a giant chrome hunting knife. I eat a few, and they taste like wet toilet paper. Every time we stop for someone to pee, flocks of majestic yellow butterflies swarm around us.
I'm gonna go pee into this flock of butterflies right now. Here we are in another flooded forest region. It's pretty spectacular, actually. We're just floating on the treetops. We're floating halfway up a forest. The river is like S-shaped, but since it's the rainy season, we're able to cut through sections of forest that have flooded. I mean, this isn't normally a river. It's only a river 6 months of the year, or maybe even less. But we're just floating by the top of a tree. It's like very strange.
Shit. Shit.
Around noon, I have to shit off the side of the boat while everyone films me. Not fun. I was definitely poisoned many times over by last night's chicken dinner. I sincerely fear that I may shit my only pair of pants.
Fantastic.
I recently learned that we are on this expedition illegally. FUNAI, the Brazilian agency dedicated to Indian affairs, patrols these waters looking for unlicensed groups like ours who are trying to contact the Indians. Juan also tells me the Amazon is full of creatures scientists know nothing about. Once, while deep in the jungle, he encountered a fur-covered beast with only one eye. Him and the beast exchanged a glance, and as a result, Juan suffered a 5-month-long fever. I had been smoking JWH-18 laced cigarettes and was too high to be skeptical, so instead, I opted for extreme fear. Besides FUNAI, we have plenty to worry about. There's rampant malaria and hepatitis epidemics, the waters are infested with piranhas, snakes, and Candiru penis fish, and the air is filled with biting insects. The homes along the river are becoming further and further apart, and we dock early today with a small family living on the shore. The air is vibrating with swarms of mosquitoes. I have never seen anything like this in my life. The insects are impossibly bloodthirsty, and they remove a plug of flesh when they bite. In minutes, my hands are covered with bleeding, swollen sores.
Essa água é do rio?
É, senhor.
Não, não. Pode tirar.
Ah, é?
Não.
Não, vocês colocaram daí.
É, pode tirar. Não, tranquilo que eu faço o arroz. Não se preocupa, não. Tira a água daí. Isso. Me presta aí essa panela. Agora.
Just hoping that I don't get bitten too terribly tonight, and that the food doesn't poison me too severely.
Quantos picas nós tem?
São 10.
10. Caraca.
Depois que morreu. Eu tenho uma mulherzinha e 2 hominhos. São 3 mortos.
Night falls and the incredible number of bugs discourages me from bathing once again. I lay in my hammock while mosquitoes squeal past my ears. The mosquito net and bug spray are only a formality at this point. There is no escape. I wake up totally massacred by bugs. It would be much easier to describe where I don't have mosquito bites. My hair, fingernails, asshole, and the inside of my mouth. We take a Polaroid of our host's daughter, give it to her, and get out of there. Today, we are scheduled to arrive at the Mayaruna village, the ancient village of the frog.
Day 3, I still haven't bathed, but I think that's going to change soon because I want to look my best for the Mayaruna. I have mosquito bites on every square inch of my body. My neck is just like a necklace of searing pain that, well, I don't even know how they were able to target my neck, but, well, I'm miserable right now.
Ahora sí, depois jogar coi água, não tem problema.
It's been 4 days since I've bathed, 4 incredibly sweaty days.
It's been a long time since I've taken off my pants. Oh, it's very cool. Okay. Oh, it's actually ice cold. Ice cold. We see the Mayaruna around midday. They live on top of an orange cliff that juts straight out of the river. Children peer over the edge at us and then run to our boat to carry our bags up the cliff.
Nice.
The clay crumbles under my feet. If I fall, I'm 3 days from the nearest hospital. So it's actually very refreshing to be here, although it's extremely hot. The Mayaruna village is a collection of huts spread across a large dusty clearing. The insects are prehistoric. As of now, the plan is to go out tonight and catch the frog, and then in the morning after the frog's been caught, we'll harvest the secretions and burn me and rub them into my wounds. We walk into the hut of our host, a man named Petro. His face is covered in tattoos he gave himself with a tree thorn needle and black fungus ink. asks Petro if he thinks I'm a woman. Petro says no. Juan looks as if he did.
This is a stick. You can actually see some dried sapo visible. Definitely.
Mire, que ele se queima. 1, 2, 3. O que acontece depois que toma o sapo? Marina. Aí, quando vomita com o sapo, quando ele vai provocar, né? Aí, dormir. Mas bicho, então, ele também, pequenino, também não ia correr de sapo. Levanta também. Aí está, blanquita de blanquita. 2. Duas.
The chief's son takes me to his pharmacy, which is a hut stockpiled with a modest supply of antibiotics.
Ibuprofen, aspirin, neoampicillin.
It's very good. It makes me feel like if I come close to death after my Sapo administration, they will.
Oh, fucking A.
Ampicillin. It's just nice to see people are on top of medicine. It's good. We could go for some ice cold lemonade right now. Here we are outside waiting for the frog to sing. Even though it's the rainy season, it hasn't rained in days, and usually the frog doesn't make any sounds unless it's wet. So we're just waiting. It might be hours and hours and hours before it makes any sound at all. But right now I'd like to just have an ice cream cone and maybe a cool glass of lemonade. A little bit before dawn, Petro hears the song and calls back to the Sapo, imitating its bark. He runs out of the hut into the jungle and out of sight. He returns half an hour later, empty-handed.
It's 5:20 in the morning right now.
They just came back out of the woods and said that they didn't hear it after all. If it rains, then the frog will sing and we'll go into the woods. But until then, I will return to my hammock and continue waiting and scratching my bites.
Ah, fucking A.
Let's go find out what we're eating for breakfast. Hard-boiled eggs and bread. And that would appear to be it. The accumulating mosquito bites are starting to cripple me. Barely use my hands anymore. I count 52 bites on my left hand and 51 bites on my right hand, which is so swollen I cannot make a fist. Got my belly really badly. Just like all here. It's incredibly itchy. Oh. assured by our host, Petro, that the frog will sing tonight. And in the meantime, I think we're just going to wait in our hammocks and try to escape the swarms of insects until the sun sets. I give Petro a copy of Vice, and he indicates that it would make good masturbation material. The rain ends, and the midday sun breaks through the clouds. The heat and the insects come back with a vengeance. I've barely left the hut today. It's actually so hot that I can barely stand, and even if I were to leave the hut, there's very, very little to do. You can actually, just laying in the hammocks, you can hear the sound, the collective sound of all the insects swarming around everything. It's just like a loud buzz, and the sun is so hot that I actually haven't even been outside today. I'll go outside and have a look, but it's, well, actually I just took a Ritalin, so I'm feeling sort of energetic. Maybe I'll go outside and see what's going on. Oh, it's not that bad. Paradise. Oh my god. These animals, it's like...
Fuck.
Holy shit. Oh, this is swarming. This is how my... It's actually just... I'm already covered in my own blood from these creatures. Oh my god. Well, this is why I'm staying inside. It's really just... It's terrifying. Night comes and we sit half awake, listening for the frog song. While writing in my diary, I hear some commotion outside. I decide to go out and investigate. We just ran into some trouble because the chief's son got news on the radio that Funai is coming to check on this tribe in a couple days, probably even tomorrow, and we still haven't found the frog. Funai is the Brazilian organization that protects these indigenous groups, and if they find out that we're here without a license, we're here illegally, we'll have to get the fuck out of here without the frog, and I have a feeling our guide will be in big trouble. So it's essential that we get the frog tonight and that Funai doesn't arrest us all. Around 2 in the morning, the Sapo sings, and again we all rush into the jungle. Petro, our host, calls to it every now and then, but I don't think he's having any luck finding it. I'm not sure normally how long it takes to find it. No? Now it's morning. We're trying to figure out what to do. Funai is on its way. We'll be arriving today. The frog
frog
Wow.
sang, but we were unable to find it, and now it's dead. So we don't know what the fuck to do.
This is our third day with the Mayoruna Indians. I have mosquito-induced shell shock.
Oh,
and
nice.
swat constantly at insects that are not even there. Here you go. We hand out batteries, pens, notebooks, t-shirts, and other trash. As a parting gift, Petra's wife gives me a grass bracelet she had just made. We have officially run out of food, but fortunately, a child offers to kill a chicken for us. Didn't catch the frog. Funai is coming, we've got to run. Moments before we killed it, the chicken ran away. So, onward. The child eventually finds and kills the chicken and brings its limp body back to us. As he plunks the dead chicken, Juan tells us of another place downriver where we might be able to find the frog. Goodbye. Nice to meet all of you. We say goodbye to the Mayoruna and get out of there fast to avoid Funai. I love them. They were great. I learned a lot. It's good. It was time that we went, though. We start heading towards the floating home of a shaman downriver. We all sincerely hope that he can help us find the frog. We're at this house right now, trying to buy some fresh fish from the river. The house is absolutely covered in butterflies and looks pretty nice. Wow, the little chicks. This is just like the house of incredibly cute animals coming from hell into the chick and butterfly sanctuary. Where? It's fresh fish.
Fucking A.
We were given a bag of fresh fish for free, which is extremely unusual, considering we had to pay about 150,000 batteries and 6,000 cigarettes and 100 million t-shirts for this earlier. It's very nice to get a free fish.
Goiaba. ¿Quieres?
We're approaching the shaman's house right now. In a few minutes we'll know for sure whether or not he can help us.
¿Y cuánto tiempo en el matrimonio?
Sábado pasado.
Aquí no canta ese sapo que están de tu casa. ¿De noche? Quedamos aquí y vamos a mirar si cogemos el sapo. Pero quién sabe preparar el sapo.
Stop. Fucking A.
Oh wow, look at that. Okay, also for toucan is friendly.
Oh fuck.
on the ground. Oh, it's the most incredibly cute thing I've ever seen in my life. I just want to rub its little head. It seems like there's a lot of wildlife around here, so we're gonna go on a boat later tonight looking for the frog and see what we can dig up. This is our dinner tonight. 4 fish for 6 people. I'm extremely hungry. They're not especially big fish, but we can supplement it with canned wieners if I'm still hungry afterwards. Our captain is out fishing as we speak, so hopefully we'll grab a few more by dinner time. We drag nets through the water before dinner, but keep catching the kangaroo penis fish. It's truly a horrifying sight, with razor-sharp retractable fangs which whip in and out of its face in a split second.
Esse daqui é um peixe que chama candiru. O peixe mais perigoso que tem no rio Amazonas. Por exemplo, tu te afoga, morre afogado dentro da água. Quando, assim, com 10, 15 minutos, tu vai tirar a pessoa e está quase comendo quase, assim, um braço, uma perna, ou o que ele pegar. Milho. Tem uns mais pequenos que entram pela venta. E muitas vezes quando a pessoa está mexendo dentro da água, porque tem muitas pessoas que tiram o pipi dentro da água e mexem, né? E ele entra pelo pipi. Uma vez que entrou para dentro, vai estourando as tripas todinho. E aí que, se tu tá longe do hospital, como vai te socorrer?
Apparently it likes to swim up assholes as well. I think I'll avoid bathing for a bit. We eat rice and river fish for dinner. If the shaman's home has everything from toucan to penis fish, I'm confident we will find the frog. It's 4:30 in the morning. We heard the frog. Our host jumped into a canoe and went out to find it. We haven't seen him since, and I don't know what's going on. He's somewhere out in the trees. I wait 1 hour for him to come back. This is becoming very discouraging. I begin to wonder if we're ever going to find this mysterious little frog. It's day 6. The shaman just arrived. We asked him if he could help us with the frog. He said he wasn't sure, but in the meantime, he said that he could help us brew some ayahuasca. It's not my first time drinking ayahuasca. They've been saying that if you've had it in the United States, it's not the same thing. It's much stronger. Mas fuerte in the Amazon. And we've got nothing else to do while we wait for the frog, so why not?
See it.
¿Para qué te desesperas?
We're trekking through the forest right now.
Come on! Fuck.
Brew some ayahuasca. He said it was only 2 minutes in, but it looks like it might be a bit further. This is our first expedition on dry land.
Wow, dude, for real?
My feet are in pain, I'm getting blisters from these fucked up boots we're wearing. It's too thick to move. We're really seriously deep in the jungle right now. I'm keeping an eye out for the frog.